We've come a long way from that filthy swamp, haven't we? You've given us a victory that will be remembered for years to come. Escorting you to the causeway is the least that we can do. Are you ready to go?
Yes, let's head to the causeway.
Welcome back, Legionnaire. Come to see the Queen? Follow me, and we'll take you to her straight away.
I'm not head...
Just...
We've had rumors of another battle. Is it true? Jane Cassinda's army retreating in disarray?
Disarray is too kind a word. I might say panic, or terror instead.
And Rosalind, what did you think of her? Worthy to wear the crown, or no?
She has a kind and temperate nature, but I saw some iron underneath. I think she'll make a good queen.
Kind and temperate is a far cry from her grandfather. Perhaps this exile has been a blessing for her family after all. What about our proposal? Does she favor the Legion?
Rosalind agreed to an alliance. She and Devonsey gave their word.
Well done. But that's not all, is it? The news can't all be good.
Jane Cassinda is the daughter of the old king. She told me herself. You never knew?
I always thought that was just a rumor. This changes things.
If Jane Cassinda is the old king's daughter, then she has a claim to the throne. Probably thinks it's her right.
Better to strike now while she's off balance. Still reeling from her loss at Glitterdelve.
Or maybe Jane will listen to reason, now that she's tasted defeat.
You bloodied her nose and you stung her pride, that's true. But the army you destroyed was only a small part of her strength. If we try to talk, we'll only give her time to rebuild. We need an ally who can distract her forces, while we go after Jane herself.
Stonebridge can field an army of automatons if need be. If we can seal an alliance with them, they might be willing to help us against Jane.
Jane could be anywhere. Do you know where she's gone?
Jane's capital is 5 days' march from here, maybe more. She calls it the Spire. Half cathedral, half fortress, on the summit of a mountain. That's where she'll be. The most impregnable stronghold in Ebb.
Would the Meisters really go to war with Jane?
Doubtful. No profit in it. And besides, these merchants and bankers are soft.
I agree. Our chances may be slim, but it's still worth a try. I'll talk to some old family friends. Spread the word that the Legion's returned.
We need the Meisters on our side. Can't take the Spire without them.
Please comply with all local laws and customs. Please spend your currency at local markets.
You'll have my vote. It's the others who will need convincing. Now go speak with them. Gentlemen and goblins, order! Council recognizes the envoy from the 10th Legion.
Meister Wolf tells us that you propose an alliance. A grave matter indeed. Perhaps our colleague forgot to emphasize how deeply we value our neutrality.
A war with Jane Cascinder would risk the very life of our Republic. What do we gain by siding with the Legion?
For 30 years, we've known nothing but civil war. Help us bring order to Ebb. We were one people, one nation. We can be so again.
If Stonebridge takes the first step, the rest of the country will follow. People will remember that the rebirth of Ebb started here.
A chance to redeem our city's name. An honorable cause to take.
Nonetheless, you can understand why some in the city might fear the Legion's return.
Countless Legionnaires were murdered in our streets. People might think that you've come to seek revenge.
Just how many of you turned against the Legion? Surely Meister Wolf took no part.
We cannot all be Sigismund Wolf. Everyone remembers how he ran about the square, trying to put himself between Jane Cascinder and the Legionnaires.
Got himself trampled by her horse for his trouble. Very honorable conduct. A credit to his fine old name.
Hear, hear!
But understand, those were different times. The Legion were said to be kingslayers. Many did things that they now regret.
Forget the past. Those murders are 30 years gone. We came here to reconcile, not for revenge.
Words alone are unlikely to sway our good citizens. Perhaps if we form a committee, study the problem for several months or a year.
Nonsense! The Legion is no threat. There's far more dangerous things in this city, if you would only open your eyes.
Our colleague again speaks of the dapper old gent, no doubt.
Indeed, sir, I do. You think that the trouble in the Foundry is not the work of the gent?
Wolf, you didn't say anything about the Foundry before.
Bad business. The Foundry supplies power to all of Stonebridge, but now it's gone silent, and no one knows why.
Meister Wolf, let us not turn aside from the matter at hand. We owe the Legion our vote.
No, wait. That hardly seems fair. Force a vote now, and it will assuredly go against the Legion. I propose a recess. Let us each speak privately to the Legionnaires, so that we can reach an informed and impartial judgment.
How many votes do I need to win your support?
A simple majority will suffice. 3 of 5 votes cast in the Legion's favor. Council declares a recess. We shall reconvene after the Legion envoy has spoken to each of my esteemed colleagues, and all are prepared to render a judgment.
So the Legion has come looking for my vote. These are perilous times. An entangling alliance is hardly prudent. But I forget my manners. I am Rorik Castle, City Meister and Factol of the Ironmongers.
In the council meeting, Wolf said something about the Foundry. Is that your responsibility?
Ah, yes. That is. The Foundry is the wellspring of our city's prosperity. We keep the economy in motion, and we are the drumbeat of progress.
Your guild is obviously important. We need friends like you, and we're willing to prove our goodwill.
If you wish to be of service, there is a certain problem. It's the blasted Cyclopses. They were docile workers for years, but something in them snapped, and they've brought the Foundry to a stand.
Why would they do this?
None at all. But I'm not involved in the day-to-day. Speak to my foreman, Mr. Snell, at the Foundry. He will explain how...
Greetings, Legionnaire. If you've come to win my vote, don't bother. My mind is made up. Stonebridge will have no entangling alliances. So that's that. Now, if you need some little task to occupy your time, or if you have a question, perhaps I can be of service.
Why are you so eager to dismiss the Legion?
I trust the Legion. What I don't trust is this city. It has a dark history with the Legion. Some doors should remain closed. Personally, I wish you great success in restoring the Legion, but I don't feel my vote for you is in the best interest of Stonebridge.
Are you sure there's nothing we can do to win your vote?
At the moment, no. But worry not, I'm sure the other Meisters will vote for you if you sate their self-interested needs. Now, I do have a task or two for you. It's not going to win over my vote, but I would find a way to repay your efforts. Long ago, the Legion served as the mediator of first and last resort. When an argument ran out of control, the Legion offered counsel.
Is the court system of Stonebridge inadequate?
For now, you will arbitrate civil matters that are beyond the purview of the courts. Mudgutter and his barristers will handle the criminals. Your first task is to handle a situation with a prisoner of ours, a Krug. He has no crimes charged against him, but his fate is disputed. Many argue he's safer in prison. Others want him free. He's here in the Meister Hall's jail. Make your inquiries there, then tell the automaton who presides over the jail what you've decided. It's hardly dragon slaying, but if you're true to the Legion, you'll have time for small matters. Go on now, I've got work to do.
Ah, yes. I was wondering when you'd come and harass me. No doubt you're here to solicit my vote for your organization.
You could at least offer me a...
Oh, yes. Trivialities. I'm Lord Barrister Mudgutter, Director of the Office of Contracts and Patents, Chief Magistrate of Stonebridge. And I have some other random titles with capital letters. I think I'm technically the High Marshal of Top Fermenting Beverages.
Then I trust you're the goblin to talk to if I want the Meister's support.
One of them, yes. I think you'll find that Wolf is very much smitten with the romantic notion of the Legion. The rest of us need convincing.
How can the Legion earn your vote?
Well, you could help me alphabetize court documents, but a better use of your talents would be to help me with an investigation. Normally, I'd have Wolf handle the situation, but it happens to involve a sizable degree of danger, and Wolf is too important to risk.
So you're saying you'd rather risk a stranger's life? That's honest.
I'm rarely accused of being a nice person, but there you have it. I'd rather not waste city resources and will trade my vote for your work. So, the matter at hand. We've had numerous reports of masked individuals hauling automatons into the crypts under the city. Whatever their aim, they are slowly eroding our defenses, and that is intolerable, especially with Jane Cassinda and her army on the loose. If someone was to enter the crypts and purge them of these criminals, I would owe that person a favor.
You said that these crypts are underneath the...
Indeed. Old records refer to them as the Crypts of the Sacred Blood, a vast network of tunnels extending from the farmlands in the south. With every passing generation, further tunnels are dug. No one has charted them all. The crypt in question is cut off from the rest, thanks to a tunnel collapse some years back, so you needn't fear getting lost.
Have many of your...
Only a few have gone missing. More troubling is that a few have returned looking like they were opened and studied.
Consider it done. We'll be back when we've...
Well then, if you keep your word, I shall...
Ah, the envoy from the Legion. Is there something else you need?
You were elected to lead the city?
Our mayor is elected from among the Meisters, the leading citizens of the town. It's a far better system than we used. We put an end to all that autocratic nonsense not long after the old kingdom collapsed. Our city has been a free republic for the past 30 years.
What can we do to win your vote? An alliance will benefit us both.
There's that word again. You won't think ill of me, I hope, if I express a certain degree. But I shall respect the wishes of the other Meisters. If you can convince my colleagues to take...
I won't take...
Indeed.
Welcome to the Stonebridge Jail. Do you have business with the incarcerated?
Isn't running a jail a bit complicated for an automaton?
I apologize, but I was not designed to answer questions of a remedial nature. I repeat, do you have business with the...
I'd like to speak to the Krug prisoner. Fiddlewick asked me to appraise the situation and determine the Krug's fate.
Very well. It is Meister Fiddlewick's prerogative to entrust such decisions to strangers, rather than automated constables with decades of experience. Please note that the Krug has been imprisoned for its own safety. It is highly unpopular with citizens, especially those who own pitchforks. Grr.
How did you wind up behind these bars?
Grr. Grr.
Can you understand?
Ah, yes. Sorry about that. I've been having a terrible bout of phlegm lately. Yes, I can understand you perfectly. Why wouldn't I? Just promise me you won't do that thing where you talk slower and louder. That never works.
Where did you learn to talk like that?
From my mother. Before she abandoned me. I guess when your son looks like a hideous monster, maternal compassion withers.
If you're not a Krug, why are you locked up?
I'm tired of being harassed and assaulted. This time I decided I'd let them think I'm a monster and keep me locked up. I've thought about getting out of here, but I have nowhere to go. I'm content.
I have to decide whether you stay or go free.
Well, I suppose I've committed no crime, unless being hideous is illegal. But if it's all the same to you, I'm safe here. Let them go on thinking I'm a Krug. It won't hurt my feelings. If you let me go, have someone escort me out of the city at least.
Welcome to the Stonebridge Jail. Do you have business with the incarcerated?
Not at the...
Wait. Not so fast, Legionnaire. None shall pass this gate without the express authorization of the wise and beneficent Meisters of Stonebridge.
We're going to the crypts of the Sacred Blood, at Meister Mudgutter's request.
I see. More soldiers of fortune to clean up the crypts of the Sacred Blood. It must be very pleasant in the crypts. Everyone who has entered them decides to...
Pardon me, I'm still a bit jumpy. What with the Cyclops revolt?
Sorry, my friends, the Foundry is closed for an undefined amount of time. We do regret any inconvenience this may cause.
Meister Castle told us that your Cyclops were...
The Cyclopses have gone mad. They've killed a few of our foremen, and the gears of the Foundry have stopped. We spotted goblin agitators inside as well. And if that wasn't enough, the fire elementals that power our furnaces have gotten loose.
I need to ask you a few questions.
Of course, anything. Just ask.
Do you have any idea why your workers...
The Night Foreman? The man in charge when this uprising began? I'm afraid he's dead. All our efforts have gone into evacuating the wounded and making sure the Cyclopses don't escape into the city. We're short on facts.
These goblin agitators you mentioned...
They wore no official heraldry and made no statements of allegiance. We give tours of the Foundry. I'm sure that's how they got in. The Cyclopses haven't killed them, so for all we know, they're working together. Perhaps they incited this madness.
How exactly did these Cyclops...
Oh, they've been here for years. And in all this time, they've tirelessly tended the Foundry without complaint. This caught us all by surprise. One moment they were working peacefully, the next...
We're ready to help.
Our attempts to parley have ended in bloodshed. You'll need to pacify them by... I don't want the Cyclopses eliminated. I just want them to go back to work. So find their leader. The sooner the Foundry is back in operation, the better. If you can restart any of the gear works below, that would also be a...
Probably stating the obvious, but let's avoid those burning crates.
Heads up! One more down. more down.
those fire jackals. Maybe they'll cause some trouble to let them out.